Blight. Yo, what's up? Welcome to another build guide. So lots of people are farming Simulacrum these days, so that's why I wanted to prepare some Simulacrum builds these days. Some of them are gonna be something that you probably saw before, so I wanted to start with the most fun and probably not that well known of, So this is a cast when damage taken Inquisitor build. It's like a semi AFK build actually. I have a Russian friend who plays this build, and I checked the leaderboard. There was like only 9 people right now playing this build, so not sure if it is a popular build or not, but I just checked the market again, and it seems that people still don't know this build because the main damage dealer and the item that enables this build is actually a chest piece with deal a percentage of your maximum life as fire damage to nearby enemies when hit. So right now these chests are still cheap enough because this is a build that is actually like 10 or 20 Exile. The gems are actually like maybe 5 chaos total because you're gonna buy most of them from the vendor, alright? So this is just a stupid build and can do Simulacrum Wave 30 right now. You already watched the clip and maybe more will roll on the background because I actually haven't done much content with this build. I just wanted to test how tank the build is and also tested Simulacrum and some mapping. So you should play this build for mapping or farming Simulacrum. This is not a boss killer. The only reason that you can actually kill Kosis and the other fat dude in the Simulacrum is because there are lots of monsters also. So if you can actually, in a scenario, let's say only Kosis is left and no other enemies, you cannot actually kill him. So let's just explain how the build works so you will actually understand why I said that. So consider playing and testing this build. If you are careful, you can simply farm Simulacrum. But if anything happens and Kosis is the only enemy left, you actually need a backup character that can deal good DPS, or maybe ask for a help so someone can actually kill that Kosis for you. But most scenarios you can just kill him with the other monsters around you because you can have more procs going on once there are lots of enemies. So let's just start explaining how the build works. I will try to keep this video as short as possible because there are not much to explain actually, and this is a very easy to build character and fairly cheap. So the main piece, again, deal maximum life as fire damage to nearby enemies when hit. This is how you kill enemies actually. The other skills that you are seeing on the screen, we have lots of cast when damage taken setups. They don't deal any damage actually, because most skills are like 5 levels, 7 levels. We don't invest in any damage on the talent tree. We just want to stack as much as life as possible so we can actually deal more fire damage when hit. And we only deal that fire damage to around us, so you need to be in the close range to the enemy. So that's why while mapping, I actually played with the gloves that you are seeing on the screen. That has a reverse knockback and that is so much fun and simply broken. It is so much fun, guys. You should definitely try that while mapping, but you don't need it on while doing Simulacrum also. Yeah. So if you want some fast and fun mapping, definitely try those gloves. That is so much fun, but normally you don't need it. So while killing those kind of Kosis and Omniphobia, the other dude, you need to be in close range, so you can actually deal those explosions to the enemy and can actually kill. So how you trigger how the build is, why the build is so much tankier. So let's just start slowly. So your main weapon is Razor of the Seventh Sun. It is like a 1 chaos, 5 chaos weapon. You don't need any rolls. Just buy the first one that you see. So we want this because it has recover 1% of life when you ignite an enemy. So this is a self-ignite build. So whenever you ignite, you can actually recover life. This is also an Inquisitor, so we have thousands of life regeneration. And also endless flasks with the new flask modifiers. We will also abuse those. We can check them later maybe. So let's just continue with the other core items. So a chest piece with fire damage deal enemies, alright. A Razor of the Seventh Sun. An Eye of Innocence amulet. Take 100 fire damage when you ignite an enemy. That's how you can actually deal yourself damage. And also proc those casts when damage taken more often. This is also a blood magic build, so we don't have any mana, so that means that every trigger actually costs also life. And maybe one final core item. It is good obviously, but maybe you can play with something else, but this is how you can be tankier in my opinion, and most people use this actually. Emperor's Vigilance, again a cheap unique shield. I bought something that has implicit corruption with block, so I can actually have higher block chance. I paid like 1 Exalt for this. You don't need it, but if you want to be tankier, you can just search for 1 or maybe try corrupting these. So this simply provides glancing blow, so you don't need to get that on talent tree. And also have some good block spell damage and other stats. So we will always have inner shield because this is an Inquisitor build, meaning that you can actually regenerate life and inner shield at the same time. The build has around 2k inner shield, almost 2k, if you have a similar gear and level as me. And that's why you can have that inner shield regenerating all the time and can have those bonuses up. So a good shield in the end for defense and lots of block. So other items I'm not going to explain that much because it is really easy to understand even if you are a newer player maybe. Just for life, resist and maybe dexterity if you need, or other stats. This build just needs life and resistances, that's it. So you can in the end even use better stuff, maybe some influenced items. I don't have anything. I paid like 50 chaos for most of my rare items. Some of them were like 1 Exalt. The build didn't cost me more than 10 Exalt. It is just ridiculously stupid and can do Simulacrum, alright? So just play this right now in Scourge League. Maybe they will nerf something, I'm not sure, because this is simply broken. So just check my items, I'm not going to even explain them. Just put dexterity, life, and that's going to be it for your rare piece. The only noticeable stat is a cooldown recovery rate that you can find on a belt or boots. You can maybe go for more cooldown and use both a boots and a belt at the same time. I just went for a single boots and a hunter influenced Stygian vise for more life, because it can also have percentage life at the top of flat life. With some also regeneration. You can just maybe craft these on your own with Pristine, the life fossil. Yeah, am I right? Yeah. You can just craft those on your own if you want. And that's pretty much it about the gear. Actually, again, nothing to explain. Just get lots of life, you know, the highest life as you can. Cap your resistances. Also go for chaos resistances, which is very important in Simulacrum. And that's it. And also again, if you have a higher budget, maybe if you want more fun, just check the influence types and maybe craft or buy better gear that can be better for defense probably, because it is actually hard to increase the DPS on this build. So maybe try to go for higher life pool, alright, because the higher the life you have, the more DPS you are gonna have. And finally, let's check the chest piece again, and I will mention a couple of things. First of all, I used high-res ire because that was cheap and also provides lots of evasion and suppress spell damage. You just need to search for that maximum life as fire damage, alright? There are lots of tiers, it goes up to 20% I believe. If you find any other chest piece that has no downside for you, the downside can be reduced life, or maybe minus resistances, maybe so you cannot cap your resistances, or maybe the chest piece is a unique, maybe something that has to do with this build, maybe, I'm not sure. So if the chest doesn't have any downsides, just go and use another one. Do not search for high-res ire. Right now there are a couple of results for cheap. Maybe just go and buy those if they are still available. But in the end, the best chest piece is probably a Kaom's Heart, maybe. But you will lose some sockets, so I'm not gonna make much comment about that one. And also a Belly of the Beast or any rare chest piece that has huge life plus percentage life from the crafting bench, maybe. You can also maybe use the Scourge yourself and try to craft, you know, find that corruption yourself. So maybe try to min-max that build, because these chest pieces that has actually life on them, with like a Belly of the Beast or rare, they are actually super expensive even right now. Again, most people maybe do not even know this build, so maybe try to also craft those on your own. Maybe try to make some profit on the way, even if you don't want to play the build. So that's pretty much it about the gear. So let's just explain the rest of the gems and how the build works, and that's gonna be pretty much it, guys. Again, nothing else to explain that much. So because this is a self-ignite build, we already take a look at the you know, core items. You actually deal damage to yourself. Also the enemies hit you, so that's why you can have more procs going on. So we will have different cast when damage taken setups. I'm just gonna put pictures on the screen so maybe you can follow better. So a setup for flammability curse and cremation for some damage. It also has some burning damage on the anomalous quality. That's how people played this build. I'm not sure if that deals much damage at all. I really don't have any idea. So that's just for some maybe and more ignite, some damage maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe you can just go for a regular one. So if you want some different skills that hits maybe multiple times, so for more ignite chances maybe, alright. Cast when damage taken setup, another one. Ball lightning, blazing salvo. These are projectile skills, so combining them with greater multiple projectiles can actually help you hit more targets, get more ignites going on. You can actually mix the setups, try different setups also. That will work in the end. So maybe try different spells. I'm not sure. You can just do that. Also using combustion for some fire penetration. A desecrate and volatile death for even more procs going on. Another cast when damage taken setup. One more cast when damage taken setup with blade vortex because it heals a lot of times on close proximity, of course, and that is how you kill bosses anyways. So it is a good source for ignite. Ice spear because it shoots lots of projectiles. You can also put ice spear on maybe the other setup for GMP support. So it can actually shoot even more projectiles. You can also do that. Another setup cast when damage taken with spell cascade because blade fall actually hits casts, you know, a lot of times with spell cascade. You can even go for awaken spell cascade and see maybe if that helps, but it is an expensive gem. And a blade blast to pop those lingering blades on the ground. The only aura we are using is a determination with arrogant support for additional effect, so make sure you do that if you want more armor. Because we have Mortal Conviction on the talent tree, we can actually reserve one aura for free. So this is a free aura. The build doesn't use any mana because this is a blood magic build. And for mobility I picked Flame Dash. You can also go for the normal dash if you like that. Or, I don't know, maybe Leap Slam, but not sure, right? Yeah, we don't have any attack speed. So a dash in the end, Flame Dash or regular dash. Maybe even Frost Blink. And that's pretty much it. For the flasks, we abuse the new flask modifier gain charges when you are hit by an enemy. It goes up to 7 charges, I believe, to try to buy or craft the higher rolls. So once you start face tanking bosses, those kind of stuff, they will just hit you a couple of times. And bam, you are at full flasks again. And that's simply broken, guys. Just go and abuse it. This is probably gonna get nerfed because lots of builds are abusing this right now. Simply broken. So on all of your flasks, make sure you have that modifier, so you can have permanent flasks up even at a single target scenario. So you cannot kill anything, but once the boss starts hitting you, you will have those full charges and use those flasks again. And I also put use when charges full modifier from the crafting bench for easier craft. So they're on automatic. I'm not doing anything. By the way, I forgot to mention we use Storm Burst with Culling Strike, so that is how you can actually start the ignite rotation going on. So once you are in a map, a fresh map, just press your Storm Burst, and once you start seeing those procs, you can just move around in the enemies. If you see anything stops, just go and use Storm Burst again, and that's how you can actually start the chain for that ignite going on, and also Culling Strike so you can kill the bosses easier. And we checked the flasks also, just check the rest on the path of building, nothing else to explain, and that's pretty much it. I use some cluster jewels, but they are very cheap actually. I use different combinations because the guy who sent me the path of building actually used something else, which is like 5 Exalt, and we don't want that. We want the cheap Simulacrum build, and this is for you. Thanks for watching. I will have 2 more Simulacrum guides coming in probably a couple of days. I'm not sure, maybe in a week, I'm not sure, because I also have other builds that I am playing right now. I'm not sure when I will post what build, you know, when. All right, so not sure right now. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for more builds. Don't forget to subscribe, like, maybe share this video. Make sure people play this right now because it is a fun, ridiculous build. Maybe something will get nerfed. That's why you should play this in Scourge League right now. So thanks for watching, and I will see you later.